Yaroshenko's arrest. Sci Soc, 2022. Preface. The following is a lesser-known fact about the Soviet Union. The purge was coming for the Khrushchevite wreckers. This fact is often ignored or goes unnoticed, yet it definitely was coming. No more is this evident than in the case of Yaroshenko, who was criticized heavily by Joseph Stalin for having a capitalist deviation. However, little was known about what happened with Yaroshenko until the archives opened, and even so, this has taken time to spread to the English-speaking world. We see through the two documents presented that the cult of personality propped up for Stalin was used as cover for treachery, as substantiated by Bill Bland's cult of the individual, seen here again employed by Yaroshenko. Also seen here is that the party was aware of the Khrushchevite wreckers, yet were unable to catch them all. Unfortunately for Yaroshenko, the party saw through his lies, and it resulted in his arrest. Check the description for the two originals in Russian, and the tool used to translate. Also down there is the rest of the archive of Yaroshenko. End of preface. Part 1. Groveling Letter. To the General Secretary of the Central Committee of the CPSU, B. Comrade Stalin Joseph Vissarionovich. Dear Joseph Vissarionovich, in my address to you on the theory of political economy, I made a number of gross mistakes. Being insufficiently competent in the theory of political economy and knowledge of the works of the classics of Marxism, I dared to give a definition of the subject of political economy and the basic economic law of socialism and, of course, nothing reasonable. I couldn't do it. Moreover, I have so lost my sense of reality that I dared to oppose my point of view on these issues to your point of view, the point of view of the creator, organizer and leader of our party, a brilliant theorist and builder of a socialist society, a man standing at the head of all progressive forces of the world. I didn't have the necessary culture even for the correct form of presentation. Swagger and tactlessness were allowed, in connection with which I ask you to accept my deep apologies. Thinking about these actions of mine, I do not find myself a justification for my actions. In your criticism, I saw how wrong my theoretical positions are, shallow and truly childishly naive. I absolutely refuse them. However, my speeches at the discussion, appeals to the Central Committee of the party and personally to you, Joseph of the Vissarionovich, we proceeded from my most sincere desire to help the party's cause. They did not pursue any other goals. Only now, from your criticism, I realized how negligibly small my knowledge is and how deeply I was mistaken in the issues of the political economy of socialism. I ask you, dear Joseph Vissarionovich, to give me the opportunity, being a member of the party, to erase this guilt with your honest work. For all my 33 years in the party, I am always in moderation. My forces fought for the general line of the party, was not in any what kind of oppositions and anti-party groups, honestly worked at the site where the party put me. L. D. Yaroshenko. Part 2. Getting Caught. Commissions of the Bureau of the Presidium of the Central Committee of the CPSU with L. Yaroshenko, approved by the Bureau of the Presidium of the Central Committee of the CPSU on January 26, 1953. The Commission of the Bureau of the Presidium of the Central Committee listened to the explanation L. Yaroshenko in connection with his letter to the Central Committee dated December 20, 1952. As you know, at the November economic discussion, in 1951, L. Yaroshenko made statements alien to Marxist science, borrowed by him from the Bogdanov-Bukharin concepts, complete inconsistency and anti-Marxist. The essence of these provisions by L. Yaroshenko is exhaustively revealed in Comrade Stalin's work Economic Problems of Socialism in the USSR. Having failed in his attempts to drag hostile views into Marxist-Leninist science, L. Yaroshenko on May 31, in 1952, he addressed Comrade Stalin with a letter in which he stated that he agreed with the criticism of T. Stalin, recognizes the error of his views and resolutely rejects them. After the approval of the X1X with the right of a comrade's work party Stalin's Economic Problems of Socialism in the USSR by Yaroshenko sent a statement to the Presidium of the Central Committee of the CPSU dated December 20, 1952, years of a directly opposite nature to his previous statement. In this last statement, Yaroshenko, double dealing with the party and not mentioning at all in his statement of May 31, completely refused to admit the existence of any mistakes in his previous speeches and statements to the Central Committee of the CPSU. B. Thus, Yaroshenko opposed the well-known decision of the party about labor and v. Stalin. All the behavior of L. Yaroshenko is deceitful, calculated to deceive the party, and it shows that he is not acting alone, and other hostile elements are undoubtedly hiding behind his back. At the meeting of the Commission of the Bureau of the Presidium of the Central Committee, L. Yaroshenko behaved insincerely, double-dealing, and refused to disclose his anti-party ties. Proceeding from the above, the Commission came to the following conclusions. 1. L. Yaroshenko as a double-dealer and a degenerate from the ranks to exclude the Communist Party. 2. If L. Yaroshenko refuses to disclose his anti-partisan connections, arrest him. Since Yaroshenko refused to disclose his anti-party ties, he had to be arrested.